changing the part from real key to $30 versus paying 40 for a chain of pig.
I buy my chains at real key, they're a lot cheaper.
Yeah,
They're about, $13, $14 cheaper.
they should buy the tri-link bar and everything for $35 or something like that.
A couple organs online for that $5.90. I haven't used them yet. I still got the original chain on it. I'll cut a lot of trees.
You wanna give him a minute, or you wanna go ahead, and then he can take over when he gets here?
That's up to you. I got 30, I don't know.
I did 32.
You got a lot of guests today.
Fair weather.
Looks like the perfect meeting to me.
Sounds like it's gonna go quick.
Well, let's get started. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
members present, I guess, if he comes, you can take care of that. Everybody see the flames?
He's calling me.
Okay, yeah.
Hello. Thank you. Oh, okay. Okay, that sounds good. We're here. All right, see you in a minute. Bye. Somebody tried calling me, but he thinks his phone is messing up or something.
It didn't call me,
He said he
so.
couldn't get it to go through. He said he's trying to call me a bunch of times, but.
Huh.
He's on Verizon, he's on Verizon like, so it happens sometimes.
Any questions on the claims?
I haven't signed them yet, but I will
Okay.
sign them.
Minutes of the previous meeting?
The only thing, there on my update, on the tree stuff, it says the lowest bid will be accepted. We need to take that out.
Okay,
Just because we had one guy that didn't have a bucket truck bid like $4,000. So,
okay, so maybe change it to most appropriate then?
yeah. Once it is recorded, received,
Okay,
you just need to take the lowest part out of there.
okay. I make a motion that approve the minutes with the
Second.
amendments to verbiage.
All in favor? Additions and deletions to the agenda? Anybody have anything? Communications to the board, maximum of 3 minutes each? Nothing? Okay. Okay. Treasurer's report and financial report.
Not much on there, just starting the year, so, I didn't do reappropriations this month, but I'll do them before we open. For the, the dredging money, like from the lake maintenance fee and stuff like that. Any questions?
Where we at as far as where we were last year, do you know? On what happened, reserve or whatever.
Not really yet, no, I don't know. I haven't done like,
Well, can we
We
have that
did-
for next?
yeah, we
month,
did
please?
really, I think we did good in getting our reservations in January, very similar to last year. Mostly call-ins this year, we didn't really have a lot of people walking, but, and there was a lot done online, so, it looked,
Favorable.
yeah, like we were last year, very similar to last
And I
year.
think our cash balance for January looks pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, we apparently made a little bit of money, because I did notice that when I was doing this fund report in comparison to last, there's a little bit extra left in there, so.
There is a lot of work in the area. I expect we to pick up quite a few travelers, marathons getting ready to have their turnaround in March also, so I don't know, we're kind of gonna miss the boat on some of that probably, because we're gonna start, I think, mid-March. We won't be open at that time, so.
We are.
Well, we might not have water.
It just depends on the weather.
Yeah.
If we got good weather, it'll be on.
So speaking of the work things, question, sometimes those workers come in and they want cabins. They don't have campers. And so we had this issue last year. We had a guy and he didn't, he wanted to pay by the week because he didn't know how long he was gonna be here. He didn't know how long the job was gonna go on, and he had to anyway. But when he was renting the cabins, we have reservations already in some of those cabins. So even though he didn't wanna move around, we had to move him around to accommodate him. And so he's paying all these extra fees, and I understand a cleaning fee has to be paid, but is there something we can do to help him, like, if, with the weekly rates, can we try to accommodate with a weekly rate? If he's here, say he's here for 6 weeks, but he's gotta move to different cabins, can we accommodate with the weekly rate? Because that was an issue. Because he'd be 3 days in this cabin and then 2 days in this cabin, and you know what I mean?
And are there reservations, obviously, like they picked the specific cabin?
Yeah.
Or, okay, I didn't know if
Yeah,
we could move them up on.
Yeah, we can't move the cabins.
Okay.
I apologize for being late, somebody.
I
No
don't see a
problem.
problem with it, as long as it's managed and.
As long as they,
We don't get into where we've got, I don't know, I don't see a problem with that.
just make sure they're,
And then what about like the reservation fees? Because he would extend, like one cabin, he was in there for a while and he would, I tried to tell everybody to extend it, but I don't talk to everybody who does reservations all the time. But I feel like if he's staying for another week, he's coming in and pay for another week, he shouldn't be charged a reservation fee again.
I agree.
Because
he has
He's here, he's not left.
no,
I
I agree,
agree
we're
with
gonna have a
that.
bunch of construction workers and they want to stay in
Because
camp.
we're making money off it,
Right.
and then if we're paying to deal with, they're not gonna come back.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because I mean, you're talking, this guy was paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
yeah, I think that's fine, however, you guys can work that out.
A question about the fees. What do we charge in the, with the pine tree for monthly rent?
Pine tree,
Yeah,
$3.50, like the rest of it.
okay. And then we charge 4,
You're talking Willow Lane. Are you talking about the seasonal?
yeah, we're gonna go, let's just go Willow Lane. What's Willow Lane pay?
It's $3.60.
360 plus electric.
Yeah. They gotta pay their own electric?
Yes.
What'd you say it was for?
$3.60.
360 plus electric.
Okay. And
And then Lover's Lane is 460, but they don't pay any utilities.
Which one? Are we doing fair? Is it fair for everybody? Is that like down here that, Lover's Lane are probably paying more?
They don't pay their electric bill, and some of those electric bills at Willow Lane are crazy.
Not crazy, guy. They have a better deal.
Yeah, Lover's Lane definitely has a better deal than Willow Lane.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they pay 100 plus for their electric bills over there at Willow Lane.
Which they're on Duke, I don't know.
Yeah.
They pay over 400 in the winter time. I'm talking-
I
Yes,
have to,
yeah, they do. They pay a lot.
This will power.
So the construction workers will stay out here, they'll be staying a little late or anything like that?
There aren't any.
No, they usually, if they have campers, they'll stay in a camper spot, but we had 2 people last year that were hopping around cabins.
Okay. I was curious, you were talking about that, maybe, that. Thank you.
Any other questions on my stuff? Or you guys?
No, just have an update next month.
For what we did in January, okay.
Like an X-ray pen.
They're all gone today for some reason. No, I don't have one.
Oh, after last meeting,
I grabbed them from your first thank you, Jeff. Pins.
Ink pen.
They're always right there, but they're all gone. We're ready for attorney update.
Looking into the e-bikes, the level 3 bikes, which are the up to 28 mile per hour high powered ones, are limited by the state of Indiana. You gotta be 15 or older to ride them. The other ones are no age limit. Some local ordinances have limited to, anywhere from 10 to 12 years old. Enforcement's gonna be really difficult because you can't really stop anybody. If they're causing problems, they're probably gonna be on the stage 3 bikes that are the ones with the high power ones. Just for clarity, level 1 is pedal assisted, level 2 is throttle, and level 3 is the one that's got an engine on it and go up to 28 miles an hour. So if you're wanting to have any enforcement issues, come on, get from the park staff. Kids are out here to have fun. You really can't stop them, or somebody's being a maniac on one with 3s. You can't have a law enforcement officer out here to stop them and say, look, you're not supposed to be riding these things at that age. I was also asked about the trimming of trees along the lake. I think if you start doing that, you're gonna open the door to potentially thousands of dollars in costs. I don't think that's a good idea. Talk with her, it's Hungry, and that's part of living on the lake. It's just like I live in the city, I don't live on the lake, but when we have to trim our limbs, we do it ourselves. And sometimes even you've got a neighbor with a dead tree, you either have to call the city and hope that if it's in the right of way or something, they'll do it, or cut it yourself. And I think if we open the door to that, we're setting a precedent where we can get into thousands of dollars jobs. We're already trying to get a hold of, city and county and mow out by the entryway. And I think it's a bad idea to establish that precedent, because you then have neighbors saying, well, we're getting it cut, why isn't Bob across the lake getting it cut? And, so I would advise against it. I think it sets a bad precedent. It's just part of living on the lake. It's like getting occasional flooding if the river or the lake rises.
Well, it's the event that someone has a tree, our tree is dead and it's leaning over their house and when it's ready to fall, and they told us about it.
If you've got something that's on your property, I would cut it for the liability issues, but if it's a question of property, that's part of it. And that's just being a good neighbor. We dealt with something similar, again, not in a county park, but we had a tree that was laying over onto somebody's house and we cut it down because that would have limited the exposure to liability. But I think if you do that for everybody, with a call up and say, look, we've got a tree leaning in and it's on our property, but it's also partly in the lake, some of that's their responsibility. And I think if we do every request, then we're gonna be on the hook for it. So I would limit it only to where there's a possibility of liability, because it's solely on your property, it might fall over onto theirs.
So should we have an SOP?
Yeah.
I thought we already did, didn't we? No?
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I feel like we've had these conversations in the past.
And I can write one up. I think it states, a bad precedent if you're just cutting willy-nilly, because you're gonna have a lot of cost for that. You're gonna have a lot of manpower and personnel going out there. You're not gonna have the ability to do that with all the other stuff that you've got to get done. If there's, and I can write up something really simple saying if there's a question of liability on it, and cut it, as a preventive measure. But that's like a tree falls across the roadway or something, you need to clear that out of there. But if somebody's living on the lake and it's a question of whether it's on their property, let them deal with it. Because if you don't, you're getting into, I can't even imagine how many, if you have a real spate of a bad wind and then some storms, you'd have trees falling all over the place, and you want to get it cut.
I guess I have one more question about the bikes. Do the person that has the bike have insurance on that bike?
A lot of them don't.
Do we need a special policy for that or some kind of protection? No?
It would be good, the question becomes, how do you check it? We could set up a registration and have them get a little sticker or something that they put on their bikes every year, saying that they've proven they've got insurance. It's basically on the lower end, it's an electrified bicycle, and you don't have to have insurance to ride on the street.
Okay,
There are less restrictions. It's something a lot of people who've had DUI convictions and suspended licenses will use to get around if they're adults. If you see that, that's a way for them to get from place to place. It's not fun for them to ride, I'm sure, in weather that's cold, but they use them. The problem they get into is when they get on that stage 3 and it's the higher power one where they've got to have it plated and everything else. There is not an insurance requirement when you can do a local ordinance or a parks rule where you say you got to register your bike, let us know what the ages are on your kids, and the question becomes, how do you tell, because some of these kids are hard to tell whether they're in junior high or high school or college. I was vetting a bunch of kids who were in high school last night when we were out at a restaurant, and they're all, when they had their shirts on, they're all ISU college students that were in sororities. And that's the key problem. If you're not able to stop them, you're not able to enforce them. About the only way to do it would be just to get stickers and have people register their e-bikes, and if you want to put an insurance requirement on it. And you run the same dangers as was pointed out, as a kid riding a bicycle, you do an e-bike. If they're going to get hit by a car because they're driving like a fool, or riding a bike like a fool, that's going to happen, whether it's electronic or whether it's pedal.
So I have a question, the ones with the motors, the level 3 bikes, I mean, don't we make them pay for like a motorcycle pass if they ride a scooter out here?
Like a moped thing?
Yeah, like a moped, we make them, so, I mean, that's one way to kind of regulate that, to not have the faster bikes. If it's got if it's the one with the motor, the level 3, then they have to buy a
And
pass.
they all have electric motors in them.
But he said I
One
thought you said
is
the bigger
separate.
model.
It's the bigger, heavier motors. It's the difference between the size on
Oh, okay.
them. And I'm simplifying it by level 1 and level 2. They all have electric motors, but it's the difference between, it's like when I was a kid, my granddad fixed up a lawnmower, making it into a go-kart, and put a more powerful motor into it. And there's a difference between what's regulation spec, which doesn't have a lot of power and won't go real fast, and then the level 3s, you can get up almost 30 miles an hour, and that can cause all kinds of trouble if you hit somebody with it. Because you're basically running them down.
I guess that's what I was saying, is there any way to know if it's a level 3 or not, that we could make them
We could
bypass?
We could register all e-bikes and just not charge them for the lower level.
That seems like a headache.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you don't want to get into too much of a headache. If it's motorized to the point where it's got power to it, it would come in under a motorcycle permit. And that's the thing, the Western ones really don't have a lot of power. Some of them got as powerful as the old mopeds they had in the 80s and 90s where they pedal them up and ride around on them. They basically were a glorified bicycle. They didn't have a lot of strength to them in terms of the engine.
all right.
Getting back to, you said you could write up some kind of a SOP for us on these trees. Do you have a copy of our bylaws?
Yeah, I do, and I'll take a look at it and write it up. The other thing, I did talk to Jim Mullen. She does have some interns and students that are interested in helping out with the park. She's gonna get me a list of names. Only other thing, and I don't know precisely what form of change it's gonna take, but there may be some changes coming in solid times. I am getting a little bit of elaboration on that, and you may want to keep an eye on that as far as if we have to put legal ads in. They're down to 1 day a week now, and there may be some changes on publication.
So what are our options if,
Social
Sure,
media
sure,
accounts,
sure,
is it?
okay,
Social media, you can post it, you generally want to have a newspaper record, it's the same thing with legal ads. We've got the Trib Star, we've got the Vince Simpson commercial in the South. A lot of these smaller papers, and I can't get into, it's more rumors I've heard from being a former journalist that, Paxton's bought up a lot of papers, other companies have bought up a lot of papers. It may be an expansion, it may be a reduction. They're down to 1 day a week, so I don't know how they could reduce beyond going monthly. But if we gotta put legal ads in and have notice in, we probably want to be aware of that. I'm gonna try and keep an ear to the ground on that.
thank you.
And, I don't know until they actually do it. I know there's been some thoughts on possibly things changing on it. And it really depends if there's a sale or what's going on. But there's a lot of rumors that something's gonna happen and we're gonna have the same company that owns a lot of papers around here, including Linton, Brazil, and Sullivan. And I don't know for sure yet, that's stuff that I've just heard rumors about, but we do want to keep an ear to the ground on that. And just to dot your i's and cross your t's, you want to publish it somewhere. And if we don't have a local county paper that's publishing frequently enough, then we probably want to go with the Tribune Star, we probably want to go with the Sun Commercial too.
All done?
All done, yeah, sorry. But thank you for the input, that was really cool.
So then nobody remembers.
And I don't know anything certain, I'm not talking to Jim.
There's a lot of rumors around town.
Well, It's been, from what I've seen, a lot of the papers are being bought up by Paxton, and the talk I heard was that there was possibly gonna be more papers being bought up, and they're even gonna expand it 2 times a week, but, that's the bad thing with all these papers cutting circulation to a weekly edition. You gotta have a set amount of time under the state statutes to get a new paper and have so many days notice. And that, it's down to Friday right now, so we want to keep our eyes on the options, and I'll try once I know a little bit more. And they are gonna have to eventually transition to the social media website, because papers are going away, and that's just a sad reality of it. But, that's.
I think I had read somewhere though that public notice does count as a social media post as long as you have record of the post. So if you, double
It
check
does
that.
count, but I'm a big fan of over complying.
I agree, I'm not disagreeing, I'm just saying that is, you do have that.
For 22 years of practice in law, I have walked up and handed somebody a document, taken pictures of them since I started
Right.
doing e-delivery. Because sure, the God may roll green apple, you don't take that picture and get it in the hand of, oh, I never got served.
Right.
And sometimes hand service is adequate, you want to have the records of, we have assignments for subpoena. I spent a whole Sunday one day driving around delivering stuff to people, taking pictures of the door and dates and everything else. And that was because we had very little notice, and that's the only acceptable way to get it in and get it in court. But that's in the wind. I'm gonna talk to Jillian and see if there's anything going on and contribute to it, because under the aegis of, we gotta have notice, and, generally papers are still away as most people think they're gonna get it. And not everybody has social media access. If you go to the library, the older folks who would be most inclined to use certain aspects of the park, or on the ones, the retirees and everything, you still rely on that paper. My mom's 82, and she's always refers to the fact that she's got a dumb phone, she doesn't want a smartphone. Doesn't want to get on that internet any more than she has to, so. Just to be aware of that.
Superintendent's next. Back to you.
Okay, all of our trees, they came in and got them all down, we're in the middle of cleaning those up. Before we got all this snow, we had some roads back in G that was, the edges were all washed out, so we went in and cleaned those all up and set riprap. And in the progress of doing that, during summer, we have people that just parks everywhere back in G, because there's nowhere to park for the boat docks, so we set, a nice parking lot back there for, the boat trailers and all that. We cleared out from the beach, clear up to the north point, cleaned all the brush there, so we have better viewing areas. I got a price together for a gazebo. We built a gazebo down there, it was less than $400 for us to build one instead of ordering a kit.
You built a gazebo for 400?
Yeah.
Does it match the others?
It's made out of 4x4s instead of like the fancy wood, but it's pretty well exactly the same, except for it's made out of lumber instead of that process.
Did you have it up there? I drove right before the snow, I drove
No.
back there. It looked-
No, we had to clean the snow out to set it.
Okay, there's a little lean-to up there, right, already?
There was a gazebo like overlooking the beach.
Okay.
This one's on north of that, overlooking the main part of the lake.
Okay.
That sounds like a great thing that you built for 400.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Drive down there and check it out. If we build another one, I think instead of using 4x4s, I'd go with 4x6s, which would be a little bit more expensive, which would be still less than $450, I'd say. But other than doing the parking lots and the roads and cleaning up trees, that's what we've had going on.
Sounds like a lot.
Oh, and we built boat docks, of course, they're not in, we gotta pull the old ones out, but we have boat docks that are, need to replace, so we got the walkways all back in G, so we just gotta pull the old ones out, switch hardware, and stick them back in.
The 100 women who care are meeting Thursday night.
The meeting,
The 100 women who care are meeting here Thursday night.
Okay.
What, do we know who can unlock the building for them?
What time will they be
here?
here?
You can't.
It's on the email.
Well,
Let me double check that email. I sent it to everybody, but it's been a while since we. I can text her,
5:30.
5:30. Okay, thank you.
I can come up here and lock it.
Okay.
Do we want to have refreshments for them or
I think
just?
she takes care of all of that, that's my understanding. They just needed the meeting space. And the only question is obviously it was after hours, so we needed to make sure it was unlocked. I'll
We
check
can-
in with her this week.
We
I
can
think she-
shut, no, because they have to get shut back. Yeah, I'll get it.
Are you attending?
No, I'm not.
Are you attending, Bruce?
By proxy.
Okay, okay,
They wouldn't let us take.
okay.
He doesn't have the right biological parts.
Well, it don't matter these days.
That's true, I guess.
Just be a wonderful day.
There you go.
Jesus, don't get that started.
Okay, so I think, Harmony said she'll come in and get set up and she takes care, I think they're here for like an hour, 2 hours maybe.
Okay.
And, yeah,
If you want to pass her my number, tell her to skip over, she's ready to get in.
I'll touch base with her this week. That was the only thing I had, I meant to
Just make
talk to
sure
you
you
about.
put that on our schedule, don't leave them standing.
Yeah. Well, if she reaches, have Harmony reach
Well,
out
I
to her.
didn't know
they're
if we had
ready.
to do that security too, because we don't have any right now. Okay.
remove the full business.
Yep, that was my only business.
I didn't know if Harmony was gonna be here or Jennifer, I had them on her in case they were gonna be here. Does anybody have anything to add for them? Okay. Move on. Board to address fishing charge of fees. I think the last board meeting, we decided to table that fee for a later date. Do we want to finalize that today, get that going? Maybe.
Anybody have any suggestions? I'd like to finalize it today so we don't have to go through another hour and a half speech.
Yeah, which we can just say 3 minutes.
Well, it troubled me, I'm not trying to build nothing, you know, he was talking an awful lot over it.
Okay.
Sorry.
I mean, I think it's our fees.
Oh,
I say just unless we're willing to do like the Monday through Thursday, half price voting fee at the 5:30 PM or something, and I don't think making an exception, that's just my thoughts.
well, the charge will shadow that.
They just have to pay the entrance fee for the park, but you just buy a state sticker for like $20 for your vote, that's it. They don't have the voting fee. No, we're the only lane around that has the voting fee.
Yes, not the only way, but
Well,
majority, yes.
majority, I mean, most of them are the state lakes though. So you
Yeah.
just have to buy the state pass.
Uh,
Geist, I think Geist has obviously a major voting fee, which it's a price for as a board, so,
I think we need to keep our fee.
yeah.
Come on out with it. What's in your
I
mind?
hire and monitor, regulate it and all that, that's where I'm at with it, I just don't know how you're going to. Next thing you know, you got somebody coming in, I don't know,
That's my thought, unless you
I
just
don't know how
do.
you're gonna monitor, regulate it.
So leave it the same.
If somebody come in with, say, USA Basin membership, because that's the only tournament you got. And, it was brought up last meeting and just having like a tournament fee. And say during the tournament, when they come in, say they're with the USA Bassett, get a reducted rate for just that tournament time. Instead of say $27 or whatever it ends up being, say 15, just to try to get more boats coming back. They're not gonna come in for a 3-hour tournament and pay $30.
There's one thing can buy a vehicle pass, the vehicle passes are not that expensive.
No, I mean, I buy most of the people that's local buys the annual. It's kind of silly not to, you know. I don't know what mine run, $225 this year. Most of them will. What I'm trying to pull in is Vincennes to Evansville, Indianapolis, north of Terre Haute. I've got some people that will come in there, but that's their complaint, is they're coming down for a tournament and paying $30 to get in the gate. That's kind of what I'd like to, or 27. I'd like to, if we could do a reduced rate there, say $15 for a tournament pass or something to that effect. You're going to get your local boats in here, which is 10 boats a tournament. If I can jump that up to 15, that'd give you $75 more or $90 or something like that extra from people coming from farther away. Is kind of where I'm at on it. Trying to get more people into the tournaments because the numbers are half of what they used to be.
Well, are you trying to help the tournaments or are you trying to help us?
So you try to go to tournaments, and some of the people don't.
If you
wanna
get
come.
more people, it's gonna help you, right?
Yeah, but a lot of them don't wanna come for the double payout either, they'd rather have the 10 tournament versus the 5, so I'm not sure that helped you to change your tournament
And then you got
either.
more boats on the lake, the more damage you got.
Well,
That's true.
What do you charge,
on an electric trolling motor,
what do you charge for the?
They don't just run electric trolley motors. I've seen you guys run 60 mile an hour across the lake.
Well, you told us they take off from the boat dock as hard as they can, so that was.
we've been slowing that down. We've started pushing that last
We've had to
year.
get on you guys for that kind of stuff.
But we have slowed it down. I mean, and I am
What
looking
do you
at
charge for them?
$30 worth of fun, $30 to come out and have fun. I don't think it's bad.
$30 is the tournament entry. Or
Part of it, they
if
have
it's
to do
a
the tournament entry.
Saturday tournament is $60.
That's not on.
But on
that's not
$60
on-
tournament,
My
$50
thing
of
is,
it goes
I've
back to
said
the
this
people.
for years, is doing
It's only $10
You're
is
able
what
to
you have to
get
have
it
on $60.
off, that's my proposal. Because then it would benefit everybody.
You know, and now $30 tournament, $5 is going back to USA Bass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, they're
Thursday
Thursday nights, they're Thursday nights, yeah. So, I mean, I think that, like I said, I've said that for a while, just to get evening traffic in general, but I don't know. We don't really know.
Somebody used to come out in the morning for the fishing tournament. Yes, we got a lot of different tournaments out there, different groups out there.
But they're not listed like we are. Yes, I do know there is other tournaments sometimes going on when we're out here.
There's not
So we need a
supposed to be.
decision, are we gonna
There's not supposed to be
do
one tournament.
special on USA Bass for Thursday nights?
Kind of seen it, it's just, it's not necessarily a
Just give us a
advertisement,
minute,
it's just a group.
time out, just give us a minute.
What was your suggestion, Katie?
I mean, I don't think we make any amendments for Saturday tournaments, they're here all day. If we wanted to do either a Thursday night thing, that they show us their USA Bass card and have a
Or we
half
just-
price boat thing, or we do
I think if we're gonna do it, we can do it across the board for everybody that evening.
just a Monday through Thursday
I mean,
after 5:30, cut the boat price in half.
do we have other tournaments during the week? Or do we not?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Or should we,
They used to do Sundays.
they're not in here complaining about
No, I think they're going.
Well, the thing of it is, and it's an interesting thing with economics, if you reduce the price or give away for free too often, one, you're not getting the revenue to keep the lake up, and it's gonna deteriorate, you're not gonna be able to provide the services.
And that's what we're trying to do, is get money in here.
So that's where, I mean, it's finding
It's a
that
fine
balance. That's
line.
why I said on the unique thing, if you know, get a couple bucks a week, that's still beneficial to us.
I guess we could always lower it, and then if it don't work out and we see that we're losing money,
Go back.
amend it and you go back to what it is. Give it a shot for,
We could also do something success-based, I'm sorry. And if you get 20 votes in or 30 votes into the tournament, you rebate a little bit, you know, when they come in, it's like, okay, put the ball back in the tournament score to get people here. You do 27 on the entry fee, if you can get 20 votes in here, then we'll knock $5 off or whatever.
Kind of like that idea.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Say that again.
You said, you know, he said that he gets 10 right now. If he gets 15, maybe you knock 250 off. If he gets 20, you knock $5 off.
That
If you
works
get
for
30,
me.
you know, and that puts the ball in your court, and you can tell them the more votes we get out here to participate, the better deal you're gonna get on
the
them.
only thing about that is the computer system, how you.
I don't know.
The rates have to be an established thing. You can't go back and forth with, well, you got 15 votes, so we'll charge this.
Unless he can do some type of sheet and, you know, send over, hey, these people are supposed to be here. And submit that, you know, the proof that we have it, so we can set it in the computer.
I don't necessarily have a
Yeah, it's not the
pre-listing.
pre-lit, yeah. Cause there's a lot of people who
That's-
show up, get
That's
all
the
that
only way we
work,
can
and
do it
then
in the
show
system.
lots
though.
of it.
Yeah, but I think the only option you have as far as the system is if you decide like, and after a certain time for everybody, not, or if you do it like a promo, you know, where you put like a promo code in because they are USA Basin.
So you only have 5 Thursday nighters, correct?
Yes. Right now, we
Okay.
usually had 10, but
You used to have
we
10.
pulled it back because of
It's
the,
double payout.
yes.
So there's-
We just
there's
pulled it
still
back to make
ways.
it fishing a little better.
When are they?
When?
Yeah.
6 to 9.
No, I meant like, are they 5 consecutive, like for 5 weeks?
No, every other week.
Every other week, okay.
I'm looking at the dates of the start of it.
I was supposed to be like a trial period.
If we could, and I don't have a problem with trying this Thursdays, that would be a good start, you know?
Sounds reasonable.
And try it out and see what it does, and if it does increase your boat traffic and you're making extra money then, like I said, most locals are gonna buy the annual because they're gonna be here practicing and everything, so you've kind of got that already set.
When is your first tournament scheduled?
On a Thursday night, it'd be, May 7th. And then May 21st, June 4th, June 18th, and July 2nd. And then from 6 to 9.
What if we, what do we charge right now for that size of boat? $30?
No, 20.
20?
I said it's 27 to get in.
It's 27 again.
Yeah,
Plus they're,
Unless they're
paying
paying
their
their
transit fees. too, which is-
So if we just waive the gate fee, we gave them $7. Correct?
That's true. You know, they thought they paid
Pay
the boat.
the 20 for the boat, waive the gate fee, do it on a 2-month trial basis. If it doesn't pan out, they don't get any extra boats the first 2 months you're on better fishing.
That would be better computer wise. As far as trying to
That works for
establish
me.
the rates.
And waive the gate fee with the presentation of the membership card is.
Yeah.
They'll have to have
Absolutely
that
have to have the
membership.
membership cards.
yeah, I will I will put that over the internet, that they gotta have a card. The first tournament, I'd just say you gotta have the card, but some of them come in and sign up for the card that day.
I get that.
But they got a paper usually that will tell them they're
Yeah.
coming in for.
And I think they got the digital thing too, like they can pull up their digital ID number or something with their phone. So, and obviously it's not gonna be a mass amount of votes pulling that on Thursday night to do that, so. And you can tell them the vote, either buy a vote pass or the vote fee is because we are obviously having maintenance issues with the lake that we're trying to improve. So we don't wanna lose revenue on that, but we.
How many Thursday nights tournaments are
We
there?
said
There's
five.
five. It starts May 7th, and it goes every other week, and July 2nd is the last one.
Easiest,
There's 5 tournaments on Thursday.
yeah.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we waive the gate fee for the members of his club that have their card. The first night, they may or may not have their card, and I get that. I've been parts of those clubs before, so. To waive those fees for the Thursday night, 5 tournaments, and then we'll look at it. If you would keep track of the votes, see if it does help you or not, and let us know next year. We'll go from
I
there.
will get with you probably the meeting in the first one in July, and I can come back and we can just see what goes on.
Okay.
Go that route, and that work.
Do you have a second?
Thank you.
Well, then maybe too
All in
late.
favor?
It's probably too late to do this
You
year,
bet.
but maybe next year, you've got local businesses, supply fishermen and sportsmen, and it may be something where if they go and we might be able to get sponsorships, and that way if somebody comes into town and goes and picks up something, at one of those shops, and you bring in a receipt, get them a rebate or something, or not a rebate, give them a break on that, with their gas card, because you're trying to benefit the community. And most likely, somebody will come to us for fish and pick up at least something to supply on their outlet. But that's something that's probably too late to deal with this year. But you
And
can have
that's only for the 5 tournaments that's on Thursday. That doesn't
Yeah.
count the Saturday.
That's not counting the
The
Saturday.
Saturday tournaments, there's people can travel, they got meal time.
That's right.
We're trying to bump the numbers up for this Thursday. so.
Yeah.
Well, let's just use it as a trial.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Got it. All right, move on.
Yeah, move on.
Yes, it is.
I know in our last meeting, we talked about a document of some kind for the county commission.
Well, I didn't, I think Chris had talked about getting something drawn up for the redevelopment, but, so anyway, I went to the redevelopment. I don't remember, was you there that night? I couldn't remember, yeah, you came in there. And I asked a question, basically was told that we're not in that TIF district, so they can't help us out. Schools, fire, police, that kind of thing, you have to be able to service that district, that area. I mentioned the Stewart Street, which ends right here at the trail to nowhere.
Oh, that's a good one.
And, they said no, so, I don't know, what's your thoughts, Chris, on your presentation? I know you had talked to them before about putting something down and trying to give us 50,000 a year or whatever.
Yeah, if you wanna go over it now, we can.
Yeah.
So everybody's got a copy in front of you. I think it's stable, so you can flip through pages and take notes. This is just a draft. If you wanna make any edits, you can. To answer your question, Buzzy, the county, the financial situation in the county, redevelopment is the only one sitting there with money. The commissioners, in a way, have input of that. But step one is going to the redevelopment board. Now, yes, they are right. Accessing the TIF money is challenging because the TIF district doesn't actually enter into the park or touch the lake technically. So that's why I was trying to look at getting a TIF district around the lake so that we would have our own district. And that died too. So
So that didn't go anywhere with them, they weren't.
They looked into it at the end, and Ray looked into it, and because of how many parcels there are around the lake, the legal fees to get it implemented, would be cost prohibitive to the county. So, and the return on investment would be extremely long-term. Our ROI would be multiple years out.
Right.
So, however, they still have economic development payments being made by all these companies coming in. So they're sitting on the funds. So I feel like we're still going to do this proposal to them. They can't necessarily approve money to us. They can support the plan and send their recommendations to the commissioners. And the commissioners have to vote to support this. So if you want to go through it, basically, in summary, we're asking for $25,000 a year for lake maintenance. And we're asking for $25,000 a year for maintaining their property that they own around this lake.
Sounds good.
We need to be clear that gone are the days of we're over here, we're our own entity, we're here to survive ourselves, but yet we're responsible to maintain all of this massive asset with no help from them, even though it's theirs. So either we're county or we're not,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good.
Let's quit splitting hairs here. You
Exactly.
know, so the purpose of this proposal is to compel them, give them the opportunity to champion into this business. And they're really not gonna have much of a choice. I guess, let me shut up for 2 or 3 minutes and let you kind of skim through this if you don't mind.
Not for sure when it became us on our own.
The only history I could find was in 2008.
2008, that's all I've ever heard.
Yeah, the county council voted to drop us off the tax rolls, basically, not support us anymore from tax funding. And that stemmed from whatever, in 2008, I guess, we started charging more at the gate or something. So there was some trigger there where we started generating more revenue, and so they decided that we were gonna be independent.
And the board then didn't question it?
They probably thought they were getting free, would be my guess. I don't know, because I've always wondered how, I've never been told how any of that came about. I just know in 2008, we were off the tax list.
Well, they're gonna push for that even back in the last year. I remember that was a subject. They've been looking for a long time.
Curious.
The county group. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They were off the lake.
That was one that could be self-supporting. I wanted to get it off the budget all the way back, so I know it's like, oh. Because I remember that.
That's why I autocorrected the captain.
Yeah.
They had to cut pretty deep on over that year. That was John Long and got shot in the head by accident. And got the bullet from the guy that was in the ball.
Also included on the last page is sort of talking points, because I don't know who wants to present this. He probably, you,
That's where now you.
huh? Well, I can, yeah, I can.
Now
I don't mind at all, I just didn't know if
you
it
drew it up.
should be
I figured
awarded
you
or
were gonna fall through with it.
Exactly.
I can.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I'll go.
I'll be there too.
Yeah, I think we should have support, I don't mind doing the presentation.
Well, we can all go
Yeah.
and support you.
Okay.
I mean, you've already kind of set the groundwork and talked to those people and everything.
I think this isn't asking for anything outrageous.
No, it's
You
not.
know, the 25,000 to dredging is gonna be really their annual seed money for us to continue doing matching. And then in here, I made sure to make it clear, like, we can't maintain shorelines around this lake.
No.
Emergency tree projects like you guys just like to
People
talk
ask
about.
me.
And try to champion this dredging project at the same time.
You have.
So both can't simultaneously. I know you guys are kicking around a tree policy, but there still needs to be funding. And even when the tree problems don't exist, we gotta start rocking our own shorelines, right? We gotta start living by example. We want these homeowners to do it and jump in with the 80-20 match. Well, we gotta rock our own shore, and we have arguably the most shoreline is ours around this one.
Well,
The first one I had.
And a lot of
They're
it's.
not where they were supposed to get, and then situated, but that didn't happen.
And then, when we start rocking, we should start rocking over to the bridge, right? You know,
Oh, yeah.
Rocking the marines.
Probably a good idea.
It's all pop in.
Probably you should.
Oh, if you guys don't have any edits, I mean,
I'll look back.
I changed the tone on it, I had it a little more firm, and I was like, you know what, we should probably.
He's
Although we want it to be from
Yeah.
Kentucky.
You know, like you said, you can start redevelopment, they're gonna hand it off to the commissioner. Commissioner has to have their blessing, hand it off to the council. So you gotta have 3 blessings to get anything done, and it's a big task.
The council doesn't need to approve this, actually, so redevelopment actually controls their own money by direction of the commission. So, the council will need to approve like what fund it's getting dropped into and allocated to, but.
I would like to see the county put us on, you know, if we can get 25 from the redevelopment or whatever. we can do, And then the county actually kick in some money for trees and shorelines.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you know, it doesn't have to be a huge figure.
Yeah.
You know,
At the end of the day, we're not, telling the county where it needs to come from. They need to figure that out and be our partner. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to come from redevelopment, if they have some other funds that we don't know about, you know? But they need to be our partner, you know, in the longevity of this park, and we haven't had that at all, you know? My plan is, as long as you guys are okay with it, I'm gonna have all the meetings there. All of it. They're gonna be back, we need it back into the corner.
When do you plan on doing this? When you
The
make it
very next redevelopment
the
meeting.
16th?
No,
No,
March 3rd, right? That's what I have.
That's
Do you know what time it is?
6 P.M.
It is
6:30.
6:30.
Are you reaching out to the media already? Have you got people?
I haven't.
Because I will tell you, they're cutting physical presence down at the TV stations. You saw what happened with the tree station, Jim, and all.
Yeah, it won't be a problem, it won't be a problem in the county.
They can, you know, make sure.
Or is it Tuesday?
They're lacking bodies.
6:30.
Yeah.
Where do they meet, do you know?
at the old school building, the brown flag, well, they actually have their own building there now. On
Kind of the old
North side.
the old main building. Yeah.
North Center Brown Baggers?
It's across the street from the old city hall, or city hall was.
Across from the new apartments.
Yeah.
On the very end. Right, you, one side insurance company on one
They
corner.
may announce it, move it, because when they have, like, one of these solar companies presenting, then they get a bigger crowd, and then they move it into the courthouse.
Okay,
But
so
they'll
keep us
announce it
updated.
before, yeah. But I'll send out press releases, media invites to get everybody there, and then I'll do the same thing for the commissioners meeting, as long as the redevelopment board, you take their
So this is the first one, March.
That's the first one. And then the next, the commissioners meeting will be 2 weeks,
Just gone.
right before, yeah, it'll be 2 weeks from then, because they will have just met the day before.
Yeah.
Commissioners meet the first and third Monday.
Yeah, at 9 a.m. now. So that'll be. Everybody like that plan? Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Oh, and I reached out, Bruce, to the developer about that code, no response. So, yeah, that's weird.
I was afraid
sent him
of
a
that.
text and I left him a voicemail, and I haven't heard anything. So,
I was afraid of that.
Damon, I'm coming back to you, surplus equipment for auction.
We're still waiting on the titles.
You're still waiting on what? Oh,
So,
the
that was something they couldn't find.
This looks like this is.
The courthouse didn't have any of the titles, all it had was a copy of one. And I even went in the supply room, and we got this ancient file that was over in the other building that we brought. It's a lot of really, really old stuff. I couldn't find any titles.
Yes.
We had some registrations in the safe, but that was it, so I had to apply for lost titles for everything. That, and you can't do it in the local branch, it's all gotta be done by paper and then mail it in and that way, because we're a government entity.
Alright, moving on, you were discussing SOPs when I walked in, so we more took care of that. Well, pretty much Bruce gonna take care of it.
Mark.
Alright.
All right, we're up and have everybody take a look at for the next meeting.
Okay, Damon, status on, the bathroom repairs down there, I noticed the one down there in Lover Lane been closed a couple months.
Yeah, we close it down every year about the middle of November.
I thought you left it open because it's the only one that had heat for showers.
There ain't nobody here in Hampton. The people over there all have full hookups. They use everything in their camper.
Okay. So there's something wrong with the bathroom,
No.
something wrong with me.
Yep. I see you pull in over there quite a bit, and I'm like, what is he doing over there?
Keep an eye on, okay, finalize rule changes for 2026.
Are we just, if you don't wanna change anything, then we're just gonna let Mary start running them off by the,
I make a motion to go with just, go with that.
What's your motion again?
Just to leave it as is, we didn't have any changes and let the girls
So
start
what we
working
gotta
on it.
do is change the covers to say 2026.
right?
I might say
That was quick.
something.
Second. For the motion. Oh, everybody, yeah, thank you. New business gazebo purchases, sound like you're coming along pretty good with that one. How many gazebos you got up all together now?
The one that was purchased with the, grant money, they're all up. There was 3 of them, and then there's 3 tables go underneath them. But then we built the extra one there, which is buying the materials from Menards. So we got 4 altogether, but there's only 3 paid with the grant money.
And then the tables, right?
Yeah, and the tables.
Did you, take receipts and everything out to RMC?
No.
No, I'll have them on a plane.
Yeah. We can't, I didn't know I was supposed to take them out there,
Are they supposed to?
but we can get them out there, it ain't no big deal. I just didn't know I was supposed to take the receipts out there.
Okay, we need to get that done, get a chance.
Okay.
I found a thing, I was looking for grants on the computer, and I come across a Walmart community grant. I don't know if that would apply, I mean, we'd have to have something benefit the community, a slide down to the beach, or, I don't know. Anybody think that's worth pursuing, or we'll stay away from that?
I don't know details of it, but I think any grant we qualify for is worth pursuing.
I agree.
What would we want to do with the money?
I would have to look at what it says we can do with it and what it's for, and
So you're trying to copy the rules.
so, yeah. Was it that's on their website, or where did you find that? I'd say until we have more information, we can't really make a informed.
Was there a time limit on that?
No.
Okay.
No time limit on that.
Okay.
There was a time limit on the, wind energy grant. I guess, somebody told you that it had to be done for a certain day. Jackie Murray told you. Yeah.
Oh, did she tell me? I forgot if she did.
Who's she?
Huh?
Who's she?
Jackie Moon.
Well, I don't know if that's for the RNC grant.
Yeah.
I think it was a different thing that was in that email or text message, that we had a deadline to meet by.
Well, we missed the date on that, we missed the deadline, it's not a big deal because they do it 4 times a year. So we missed the first quarter, we're getting on the second quarter.
So we can do it for the next one.
Yeah, we wanna try to go the same thing on that one, more picnic benches and,
Yeah, we can always, yes.
okay. I'll pursue that one, and I'll get you guys information on the Walmart grant.
How are you on tables? Do you need lunch tables?
We can always use tables,
Oh, yeah, we,
always use tables.
Maybe use that money to grab a table so we don't use. If you can build $100 gazebo, it only makes sense to do
Yep.
Switch out the back tables.
tables.
Build all handicap tables, and get rid of the
that would be
junk
great.
wood.
Good idea.
Do they still have shop classes at the local schools?
I know.
Too, that's what I'm wondering. And they've got
They,
some stuff.
they
that-
do.
They've got some stuff that I've seen in the past where they have inmates from Wabash Valley will do work for parks and so forth, and they've got high school kids will build for the experience.
Wabash Valley's so covered up, it's,
Yeah.
we have a hard time getting them in and out of here.
They did a little bit of work though, in the pool and all that.
That's, we don't want to get into.
Moving on, you guys already talked about tree removal ago, so we covered that one. Finalized plans for Memorial Weekend, 4th of July weekend.
I just need to know what you have scheduled and when they're planning on coming.
That depends on you. I mean,
Well, I
our
left,
schedule, they can do whatever.
I left
Arrowheads
Friday night.
and the band will come. And Tom McClanahan and JD Wilson will be judges, like
That's
campers didn't like us judging last year, I guess, so. They both said they would do that, so
Is that for the 4th? Is
that was for the 4th.
we received a check for $5,000 today, actually, I haven't even got it in yet from
tourism?
tourism.
Be
So-
wise stewards.
We just need to figure out our schedule and then they'll fall in.
Okay, well, this is for Memorial, though, right?
No, 4th of
4th
July.
of July. We're not doing anything extra as far as the school and stuff for Memorial.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, then do we want it on Friday evening to kind of kick everything off?
I don't care.
Well, what, on Friday evening?
Have the band and the Arrowheads and so forth come out?
Or for the 4th?
Or the Friday night before the.
I didn't think that
I
you
thought it was
guys were
supposed to be
doing that
before the
Memorial.
fireworks.
I thought it was the fireworks. Did we, I thought we, because Chris is doing the,
We do have fireworks
Veterans and
coming on
stuff, right?
Saturday and Memorial.
that's, yeah, so you told fireworks night, right? Because the Arrowheads and band were gonna play, we were having Joe Bright. Then he was gonna pause and let the band and Arrowheads and the vets do their
This is
thing.
during the day, though.
Fine.
Yes, it was in the evening.
So Joe Wright was supposed to go, 5 to 8 and pause,
Mhm.
then we're gonna have the Arrowheads, the school band, and a flyover, right? Possible.
Try.
Yeah, possible.
We have a band from 8 to 11.
Correct.
Joe Wright is going to be 5 to 8.
He's gonna fill in the gap and we're gonna then, because the band and Arrowheads aren't gonna be
They,
that long.
yeah, they'll just,
Okay,
One thing, another logistic thing you guys might need to think about, if you're doing all that, you gotta keep the asphalt open.
You have to have asphalt open, I
You
know.
know, in the park, with golf carts, I'm saying.
yeah.
Yes.
take it off.
You know,
That's why I worry about with the food vendors too, because all the lines always, come back,
Where,
Being that early, I don't think it'll be that.
yeah, but we still maybe need to take it off so the band and Arrowheads have.
can get in there.
Normally, honestly, we started doing traffic, we work from 12 to 1,
yeah,
getting in park.
Yeah.
But as far as people parking down there, I don't think we have an issue there on the road or anything.
We still don't wanna make sure the band can get in and set up and their Arrowheads and all of that.
And they'll, I started to say they will all come by themselves, but maybe they will be at the school and come by one bus maybe.
That would be better.
That'd be great.
But I don't know that, they have,
didn't check with Stephanie on the bus.
yeah, that's what I was just thinking, oh, I'll talk to him. So we're planning on Joe to start at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, now, my,
In between that 5 and 8 is when the Arrowettes and the band will proceed.
And the vet.
and the American Legion,
That's what she's saying about that.
okay,
Yes, the veterans, sorry.
so they need to do that first, don't they? Present the colors and all that, and then have the band perform, the Arrowheads, and then Joe.
Well, Joe was just, we booked him for that 3 hours or whatever, 2 hours to.
I don't even know that I
Fill
told
in.
him, I just asked him if he could do it. He
I
said
think you
yes.
did.
Did I tell him?
think you
I
told
think
him
you
last
said
time.
that-
I think you said,
Okay,
they were paying him for that time, but he's gonna have the breaks, to let
Okay,
them
all right.
do their thing.
Is it just Joe then, or is it the band too?
I think it's just Joe.
I think it's just Joe,
Do you know how much he's charging us?
not for sure.
Okay, then what do we do about the band that's playing at 8 o'clock? If Joe's playing till 8 o'clock, that band usually comes in the afternoon.
Joe is
sets
just
up.
one person, he's just sitting there.
Yeah, he's just, could he go right below the stage?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, he doesn't even be on the stage.
No, and sometimes he likes to walk around, so,
It's not like a big setup.
yeah, he
Okay.
wouldn't
That way that-
interfere with the band setting up, is my point.
Mhm.
So,
It was just to keep the flow of things and keep people
Have people
down
down
there and have people down there congregated and.
that's right.
Yeah.
So, when are you
So,
having, when are you having the military?
Chris,
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
when do we have the military? When can they be here?
Whatever you tell me.
We need a time, so
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock? Okay,
So Joe can play for an hour
Yeah.
and then we'll, okay,
and then after that, immediately have the band and the Arrowheads?
yes,
And then Joe can just pick up until it's time for the other band to kick off.
Okay,
perfect.
Now, Len, are we gonna ask the Legion to pay for the insurance on fireworks this year?
yeah, I think we should. They did last year and they didn't even raise.
Yeah. Well, they've done it for several years.
Mhm.
You want me to ask them, or you gonna ask them?
I've got a letter that you can take, but they want it earlier than what we normally give it to them.
So do it today, I don't care.
Okay.
And did you, I know, going back to Memorial Day, we're good on July 4th. Okay. On Memorial Day, did you check with city?
Power checking, yeah. They're going to shoot them off on Saturday, Memorial Weekend. If it rains, we'll shoot for Sunday the next day. And same way on the 4th of July, that's Saturday the 4th. If it rains, we'll try it on the 5th.
Okay.
The only thing, we talked about extra and if it would fit into Memorial Day is that touch a truck. Because the 4th is so crowded out here, like we could see if like the fire department or ambulances or whatever, right? I mean, we mentioned that in the meeting, I think.
See, they used to come and they would set out in this field before you get to the Eagle Lodge there. And they had like firefighters competitions and all that stuff, but they don't have enough people anymore and they won't do it. But they can still set up there because we don't park cars there.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah.
What are you calling it? Touch a
I
truck?
think that's what
Yeah,
they call like the
like
touch
fire
truck events
trucks
and police cars, whatever, even farm equipment, and just like anything that's like big machinery that kids are interested in looking at up close. Or,
Are you going
things like
to look at, or talk to them, or?
that. No, I have no idea. I just know that was a suggestion when we were talking
What
about
do you do,
adding
chop it
events.
off?
Can we back up to the gazebos for a second? What do you think about, they put a tent up, they sell t-shirts and tickets to the slides and all that good stuff. What do you think about putting up a gazebo there for park employees and have electrical to it, so it wasn't fading and things like that?
Instead of like one of these, because the tent that we normally put up, say 10 by 20, what about getting a price on building a 10 by 20 like we did down there? Because it was, I want to say it's 10 by 12 that we built down there at the beach. So I'm all for that.
There's some tournament there for you guys.
I think that's a good idea.
You guys want to give me a set amount? Because next week, the week of March 1st, the first week of March, I have prisoners again. So if I can get stuff together, that'd be something perfect for them to do.
If you only spent 400 on one,
Yeah.
just do whatever you gotta do.
I say less than $1,000.
Okay, I would say up to 1,500 if you're an electric.
Even with electric in it and everything,
Okay.
so.
I think that's
I
a
make a
good
motion
idea.
for Damon to build a gazebo,
What about,
1,500.
with the fire trucks out there in
Second.
the circle,
Second, all in favor?
all in favor? Would we need to put something up there for the fire department where they can get in and out of the shade or something? A gazebo of some type?
I guess we could take that tent that we use, if you get this built, they could sit under
Or
that.
they just like, I don't know, because they're in and out of the truck and stuff all the time. I don't know if it'd be,
Okay, we'll go with what we were even talking about, gazebo.
and a lot of times we leave that shelter house open back in that area for the food, don't we?
Well, that's usually where they set up emergency
Yeah.
management.
The gazebo we're gonna put up for the employees to use, probably will have a sign of some kind. Park employees on there, I don't know, something.
Okay, so you want the trucks and the cars to go in the middle of the circle down there at the beach?
Well, that's, I was thinking about, another gazebo in there.
Well, that would draw people down to that area where all the vendors are.
Where do you guys want to put it, Memorial and everything?
No?
We just need some around there.
We're talking, wasn't the touch a truck for Memorial Day, Katie?
That was just it was just a question and suggestion since we didn't have
We
anything
got a lot of
extra
stuff
for
going on.
Memorial. We have a lot going on for the fourth, so that was,
Memorial Day.
it's just an idea. Not set in stone or have strong feelings one way or another, it was just an extra event that was, I know you mentioned.
All right, we're ready to move on.
Well, Lana, are you set for Memorial Day? And fourth or what?
I have soul stricken, which Buzzy's aware of, for the Saturday night of the 4th. And we had that Michael McCartney band that played at the camper appreciation dinner and everybody really liked them. They're going to be the Friday night. Now, as far as, the Sundays of all the holidays, that's on Friends of Sullivan County Park and Lake. That's their night.
Which they decided they weren't doing the Sunday of the fourth, because everybody was gonna be.
Has anybody heard anything from the friends?
I was gonna ask
No.
that too. Wanted us to come to the meeting.
Yeah,
And we'll still do the decorated golf cart parade and have the party on productions.
are you gonna have a little Miss and Mr. Beauty contest?
We can, but I've never done one of those and I have no clue how to really go about it.
I think it's a cute idea, but I have no idea who's here.
If we got anybody that did something similar, I know they were doing with the corn festival.
Let me talk to Stephanie and her sister. Her sister
Yeah,
does
they're
a lot,
good, they're good at that.
Clay City.
Okay.
And you can do it as a fundraiser, have people donate, put them in jars around.
Oh, and let them vote.
Danielle,
Let him send it or he do the one at the corn festival.
All right, moving on, right? Chris, you got anything updates on the dredging project?
No, that's really where we're at right now. Mike's still planning to get back in around the docks, mid-March,
Mid-March,
so.
okay. And the contract with Melissa Copeland, I see we got copies of the new ones.
She sent a email to everyone too, because she's got a new job and she can't miss to come to the meetings. But she said she broke it all down like you guys were asking.
Folks, I've got at about 10 o'clock, go out and take a call on a Chin's case in Sullivan, but looking over this, and I know you're gonna be the one that vote on it. I'm a little concerned, it's a little salty, it only goes till October, in terms of the price, you're getting 1,000 a month, and there's an awful lot excluded. One thing that worries me is daily monitoring and response management of social media comments or messages is not gonna be part of the services. There's some stuff in there as well, and I think if you're paying 1,000 a month, and I'm not trying to say anything bad against Melissa, I did have to go against her in one case, and I, full disclosure, I'm saying that, but there's an awful lot that's not included here, that if you're gonna pay 8,000 for 8 months, I feel like some of that ought to be in there. And that's all I'll say about that. I mean, you know, if you're dealing with social media and you can't guarantee you're gonna keep an eye on it, that's really worrisome, because you can get somebody who thinks they had a bad experience, they get on there, and if your social media director is not gonna be able to get on there and deal with putting the fire out pretty quickly.
Damon and I usually do that.
Yeah.
We answer the questions and
Yeah, if you're paying somebody to do it and keep an eye on it, and some of the other things, I mean, it's up to you folks how you spend your money, but for 8,000, not even have a full year, and some of the stuff that's cut out of there, it seems a bit salty, and, you know, there are enough places closing as far as graphic design and newspapers, I think that that's not really, and, you know, I'm not trying to put you on this, I don't know if that's terribly competitive with what you can get somebody to do the same amount more for the same amount of money or less. And that's just my gut instinct and reaction to it as the attorney on the board, is there's some stuff in there. I mean, you get something that's very easy to have a firestorm of social media comments, and you need to have the ability, you know, crisis communication, emergency response, or after posting. You know, that's something, if you're gonna have somebody monitoring your social media and running your social media, that's something you gotta keep an eye on. And there's a few other things in there. I mean, some of them it's reasonable to exclude, some of the other stuff, if you're gonna be running social media with somebody, ought to be in there as part of the services. I don't know if you wanna table it, and maybe see if somebody else would wanna put in something competitive, or don't talk to her about the concerns that we have in the.
Who do we have open to do that? Put in a competitive bid.
Yeah.
I guess my question would be basically to Lana and the office people, how much good did we get out of her services last year?
I feel like a lot. She handles the back end of, like, our website, does the updating of it. She puts that newsletter on there. She did a lot of reels.
It says in here she's not gonna
Sounds
do
like she's
anything.
excluding a lot of that.
It says in here she's excluded.
So that's why
On-site event coverage, and live event posting, graphic design, she's not gonna do the newsletter content.
There's a photo, video, and graphic based content.
So my question is.
I know it says that on front, but then if you look in the excluded, it says that she's excluding that, so I'm confused if she's doing it or excluding it.
It says services not included unless it's outlined and selected service option approved in writing. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff you have over there.
If we select this part, then it'd be included.
But to my thinking, you know, professional photography or videography, there's a broad range of what includes professional photography. If you've got some training, you get paid for it for professional. There's not any licensing necessarily in it. And I feel like if somebody's gonna be doing social media, they ought to be able to come out to the events, walk around, shoot a few pictures. For being a reporter, it doesn't take that long. You can come out and do it in 30 minutes if you know when something's going on. You know, and it's easier now. You don't have to develop the photos. You can upload pretty quickly and edit them if you need to. On-site event coverage or live event posting, you know, if you're gonna do social media, you want something to get people out here while it's ongoing. That's the beautiful thing about social media. You know, if you got a baby pageant out on 4th of July or the flyovers or whatever, you can say, hey, come out at 7 o'clock, we're gonna have this. And if you're updating your page, I mean, I'm not trying to put down Melissa, please do not take that as this. But, you know, graphic design, you know, basic social media graphics, that might be something that can be excluded. But you got plenty of graphic designers out there that are looking for jobs. Paid advertising creation, management, or ad spend, you know, that's usually part of it if you've got a web design. Your website redesigns, new page builds, or technical website maintenance. You're incurring additional expense on that because the website crashes and you have to pay somebody to fix it. Writing, designing, editing, or proofreading newsletter content, that's a big one that stands out to me. Because if you're only doing a monthly newsletter or a bi-weekly newsletter, it's only a few pages. You can write it fairly quickly. The daily,
Lana writes it,
you know, and well, you can have people.
like Lana writes the newsletter, Melissa just has to proofread and post it.
Edit, and she, includes editing in here, is not included in proofreading, that's worrisome. If you've got other people writing it, it's fine, but, you know, if you're gonna ask $1,000 a month, that's, you know, that's 50 hours or $20 an hour. And what are you doing to justify that 1,000 if you're hurting for money on your budget? And I'm not trying to be hateful about it, I'm just putting my journalist cap on. You know, crisis communication, emergency response, or after hours posting. Sometimes you have something go horribly wrong, like we had the fireworks out and that went right up, and I was out there at that, came right down in the crowd. And you're gonna have that as part of your social media person. You gotta be able to get on phones.
PR response,
Yeah, you gotta have somebody that's able to be the spokesperson. And, you know, fundraising management, grant writing, or donor communications, that might be something you can farm out to somebody. Text message marketing setup or management was contracted separately. Services related to special projects, campaigns, or large scale events unless added through a separate written agreement. You know, what does that entail? I just feel like there's an awful lot for only to have, you know, from February till October, there's an awful lot excluded that on the basic things I would think would be included. And I'm not trying to put her down, I just think that if you're gonna pay that much, you wanna get the maximum value for it. And I'm not trying to ramble on it, I apologize.
I guess some of my questions were, so last year she come in like a ball of fire and then just fell off the face of the earth, basically, in my personal opinion. I'm not on the back end, so I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but, the drone show was mentioned. She was supposed to do some fundraising for that. Kind of what I gathered, she pointed the finger in Chris's direction for that. I thought she was gonna head that up. I didn't think Chris was supposed to head that up. You know, they got a campaign they're trying to run. Now she's got another job, so how much time is she gonna be able to devote to us? And are we gonna, I didn't feel like we got our monies out of her last year. I felt like the first part of it, she was really rambunctious. She did a fantastic job. And then it just fell off, and that was pretty disappointing for the money that we were paying her. She did do a great job.
She wants to
What do you suggest we break the contract a little?
You don't have to necessarily.
I mean, I guess, so you did the newsletter all them years, I guess, and it was fine. What's your thoughts?
I don't know how to put it on Facebook though.
My thoughts are we maybe don't renew this contract, however, we come up with the job description of what we need. Because we need somebody to do the website correct, or, I mean, we're gonna learn. My thought is, I do think our office staff is capable of a lot, however, that is adding to their scope of work without compensation. Like, this is a whole other part-time job. So if we can figure out how to pay one of them more, if you have time in your day to do, because Camp Spot has marketing in it. I think there's a lot of webinars and things you can learn for the back end of a website. However, like I said, they need to be compensated for it. That's additional work. We literally paid, obviously, somebody thousands of dollars last year to do that. So I don't know, that's kind of my thought. If we don't go forward with Melissa, which is, I totally understand all the concerns, we still need somebody who is doing this for us. So maybe we come up with a job description and hire somebody else.
Do
Does that
we
make
want to
sense?
put it out there and see if we get any other people that are interested in it?
So my
And
question,
that's our job, is to try to,
how does that work with the county to either, if somebody is capable on our current staff to learn or trainer wants to, how do we compensate that? Or, I mean, I guess with the county too, like if you're hiring somebody else, you just do a contract, like we did with her, Chris. So we wouldn't have to have county approval for a number, correct, Buzzy? Anybody? Is that how it would work?
Well, so with which is what we got a lot of slack from Amy about Chris is when he works for the county and then doing jobs for the county, he had to go through, it was a big thing to be able to get him paid.
I feel like we need to keep it outside.
So we could come up with a job description, kind of figure out what we would pay them. They would report to Lana, Jamie, whoever's in the office to oversee that they are doing this, that they're more face to face here on site. So then we also know what we're getting, and have clear expectations of like, these are the events we want you at. We want you in the office twice a week to check in or to do that. I don't know. You guys would be the ones like dealing with all of that. Maybe we can meet and figure out what you're needing to keep this going and easier on you.
I'd be willing to help out with that too, and I'll tell you, there are a lot of people with the exact skills you're looking at here. I mean, Paxton newspapers that I talked about, around a lot of papers in the community, in the state. You got a lot of journalists that have been laid off, you got a lot of newspaper people that have been laid off, they've got graphic design, they've got online, they can
Yes,
take pictures, yeah.
So
I
we
can
can
think
do
of
job
5 or
plan and
6.
scope of what
Or
we're
could
expecting.
he contact 5 or 6 of them and have them?
Exactly.
submit their?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
And I mean, if you can save some money, however you can get more,
Yeah.
8,000 is not unreasonable for year-round, part-time,
I agree.
set out.
I agree.
If you're gonna get hype and you're gonna get everything from people, getting people in here. If Melissa wasn't excluding so much, I'd say that's not a bad deal if it was around the clock, because you're gonna have events out here in Christmas if you do any kind of Christmas displays or anything.
Yeah, my concerns are really $8,000, because we can afford that. It's just, are we getting what we need for that? I don't know. I don't want to see this aspect of it grow, because as Brandy, you were in that meeting, Beth Hedlund from Wabash Light Community Foundation, like everybody outside is saying we need this.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like we can let that aspect go. We just have to figure out how we can do this. Yes, no, maybe.
If you can give us a list and maybe we can
I'll
put
reach
some
out.
fingers out also. And so are we gonna table this for today and are you ready to?
I don't know how we can move forward. Either.
To find
Yeah.
somebody.
We either accept this or we.
Either table it or you chop it, one or the other.
Well, there's nothing, so she's got to revise from both.
She did.
She did, this is a
This
revision.
is the revised.
And explain to her the concerns and say, you
I mean,
can.
another
For what it's worth,
Project manager.
just, you definitely don't wanna move backwards.
No,
You made
that's
a
what
lot-
my
you made a
concern
lot
It's
of
definitely what,
Don't wanna move backwards
Right, that-
with the
exactly.
promotion level and your branding level that you've created and invested already in 1.5.
Mhm.
So you don't wanna move backwards. And, at the end of the day, our recreation asset here has competition, right? And so the whole purpose of making this investment last year was to kind of take it to the next level and level the playing field in the area. And one of our big competitors, because they're not state funded like Jack and I, which is Lazy L, they are promoting like crazy. They have a giant billboard in Brazil and in
Terre Haute.
Terre Haute, they're in Terre Haute, but they have one all the way in Linton and all the way in Brazil. So they're pulling people that we get here with their advertising efforts. So that was the only comment I wanted to make was like, you don't want to go backwards. So I have looked at what you're looking at. I share a lot of the similar feelings that you guys have. But you need a good plan B, whatever that looks like.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. It's like, I don't want to move backwards. We have.
I don't wanna lose what we have.
Correct, yes, yep.
For social media, you gotta have some kind of presence, and you need to have something to keep an eye on, because the aftermath of those fireworks going bad and going into the crowd, and there were so many pieces of misinformation out there, oh, somebody got killed by them, kid got 3rd-degree burns and all this, and you gotta have somebody who can be reactive. Or you get some crank on there, putting up something because they've got an accident. You gotta have somebody that's going to monitor that, that's the key thing.
So
I feel bad because I missed the meeting, but I thought we were talking $5,000 or $6,000 range and she come back with 8,000. Did I miss?
Well, it's not even a full year, that's what we're doing too, as it goes February to October. And that's, okay, then you're gonna have to either re-up it.
Because that's the camping season,
Yeah, but
March through October.
we have stuff to do at Christmas time too.
Usually not, but we're going to start this year.
That's the thing. I hate to cut out, I just.
That's okay. Thank you for your
I'm gonna have
input.
most of these off, but we have a couple that were not continual because of deadlines. and that.
No problem.
Thanks, folks.
Can you guys put some feelers out for a social media person and like have a
Yes.
special?
I can get you a list, because I know there's a lot of employees.
Yeah, do a special meeting.
Well, they don't pay these journalists, I mean, Paxton pays them like $10 an hour, no benefits, a lot of these papers. So I mean, you're getting McDonald's paid for it, so a lot of these folks will be inclined to have the skills and do better, and I'll try and come up with a list of about 10 of them.
Are you okay if I do like talk with Lana and Jamie and Chris and come up kind of with a scope or job description of what we're working on, and then that would help us kind of, and obviously your input, everybody else's too, on what our idea is, what we're expecting from somebody.
And then are you gonna present that to her?
Well, I mean, she gave us what she's willing to do for
So-
our price. So I think it's more future, so then when we are talking, if we have a list of people who are putting in bids, we know what we're willing to pay, but we also know what we're needing. Does that make sense? So that we're more just all on the same page? You know, thoughts for me too, 'cause again, this affects you more than anybody else.
How long can we limp through without
You
moving
need
forward?
somebody,
Soon.
you need somebody when we open.
That's what I say,
Yeah.
you know, is it possible that we go ahead and hire her for that first invoice period, that first quarter or whatever? Because I don't think we're gonna be able to proceed real soon getting somebody on board. I think we need to get our campaign
Yeah, the
started.
February 15th to April 15th.
$3,000.
Yeah.
I think you should get an idea of what you want together and have, like I said, just like in another week or two, have a special meeting about it and then go from there. And selecting.
Like I said, I'm really, the money, we can afford that, the 8,000 is not my concern, it's just, are we going to be able to get what we need for that, and are we gonna be able to get a working relationship with her?
I just,
Halloween.
I felt
I
like
need to get the
for
basics.
2 months, we got our money's worth.
Or that.
Hey, why can't we just hire her for the February and then all the way through July 15th? And then us take over that last July 16th through October? Because those are where we're starting to slow down, we have very few events.
And maybe in that time period too, she can work on helping train you guys a little bit on the back end, yes, no, I still,
And she said she was willing to
and
help
my
them.
concern, though, like I said, is that means, I don't know how you can give a pay raise though for that, if you're adding to somebody's job, you have to compensate them.
You guys have to my job all the time.
I know we do, David.
You superintendent.
But like the
You signed
marketing,
up for that.
like the marketing on the camp spot stuff, like I think you could do that, however, that's a lot of extra work on your plate on what, like that's not in your scope that we are paying you for. Because that's extra webinars, that's extra training, you know, that's a lot of extra time. But I don't know, I think that's maybe a good compromise, hire her till July and work on a succession plan. We can still work on a job description and looking for somebody. And it does say you can terminate the contract, right?
Yeah.
You did?
Yes, it does.
Says we can, so can she, so.
She may not be even willing to take that, but. Thoughts, I don't know.
I just like so the $750 a month, I'm assuming that's basically for Facebook.
Yeah, I feel like
That's
that's,
$25 a day to throw a post on Facebook.
I feel like that could be.
So,
Oh,
a little bit salty.
I did it 3 times a day.
Chris said something. Chris said something.
We need more work. We don't need more work, I'm just saying, you're right. $25 every day.
Not for us.
Well, there's a
I'll look
post
into
on
that. I just pulled up the
Yeah.
I just see
Yeah.
them.
I think he
for the option.
So what do we decide? Keep her
And
for the
and
first?
then decide. Yeah. Yeah. That'll work.
We need a motion or table and make a decision.
I've been hired for the first two things and
If she's willing to do the first two things, would she be?
So we're gonna go ahead and finalize the contract for a couple of months or something like that. And we'll make your mind up.
I think we need to do at least the first period, if not the first two, so we don't miss out.
Do we miss out? Do we have the $1,000 from tourism
Yes,
specifically for the 4th of July? So that's gonna pay half of invoice two. The $1,000 from tourism will pay half of invoice two. So,
if it's new.
Make a motion, yes.
What would you say?
I move that we hire Melissa for the first two periods for a total of $5,000 and, hope that she accepts the.
I'll second.
I guess my only question in that regard is, are you going to specifically tell her that you're only hiring her for those months?
We have,
I
I think we
We
need
have
to.
to.
We'll have you do it for us.
You need a new contract, I would say,
You would need a new contract.
because you can't
No.
sign, you can't say that and sign this
No, we
contract.
can't sign
That's
that.
true.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy.
I
And
mean,
you might wanna tell her that
You
something
have
on
to
this
send her
time
something in
to,
writing.
like, she'll lay that out of her newsletter
In
online.
the contract
I don't think you
before
would
July.
people would table it and ask for a new contract.
Okay.
Send her the specifications.
Works for me.
Are you gonna draw a contract on that?
So here's what this didn't really say, you know, I would need
no, Melissa will draw the contract, we'll just reach out to her.
I agree.
after the meeting, that's how many weeks
Yeah, we
ago.
didn't have a chance to even
We'll
look
get
at
you
it.
another chance.
Maybe it's X amount of weeks ago, and get this last night, whatever time we got it, I didn't really.
I didn't see it till
look
this
at it.
morning.
I didn't see it, so
That just goes along with procrastination. that we saw
I would
last
have
year.
appreciated it a few days ahead so we could have. So we want to table it then, is that,
Sounds good to me.
want to rescind yours and
I can rescind.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor, with a second, right?
Who is going to, be the point of contact with her?
Can, yes.
If somebody's gonna have to talk to her about what we're doing or whatever.
You can have one draw.
Let her
Everybody
know,
go down.
Specifics and
let her know
presentations.
that we tabled it and
And we need to talk to Mark then, I guess, because he could help us draw up the contract from our end
And you can.
with more specifics. In order to sell.
no, we appreciate your input.
if Mark produces a list relatively quick,
Well, you need to first submit that new contract to her. You're changing the contract, either amend it, accept it, or reject it.
But we do need somebody.
Yes.
So who's gonna reach out to her? You
Well, the board president,
I can too, I mean, it's, I don't care if you want to, or,
go ahead, we'll make you do it.
We
You haven't voted on your motion.
need to finish.
you rescinded, you can rescind.
He rescinded his.
And I know that, but
Okay.
that's never been voted on.
You have to vote to rescind the motion.
If you made a motion to rescind the motion, yes, you do.
I
I'll
second.
second the rescind.
Thanks, Mitch,
All
you
in
brought
favor?
keeping us in order,
Thanks.
wording, we need that.
Anything else?
When we're looking at this AME contract also, which we pay another astronomical amount of money, in my opinion. I don't know if you deal with Amy Law at the courthouse. I don't know if she's in charge of this with the county. but there's no reason.
I don't think she has anything to do with that, does she? I don't know who hired Amy.
Well, she's upset with it because I heard her on the radio, I heard her on the live.
Well, that was IT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was IT. They're upset with IT. They had a big problem.
Yeah.
So they're getting ready to can their IT company.
Okay.
But there's no reason, and you can throw IT in there. We're a county branch. There's no reason why we don't umbrella on the computers, the IT, the printers, everything, in my opinion. We're just kind of going out here to float the thing for ourselves. When if we're doing all this, we could save money. Our insurance and stuff is probably go see the county, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So why is this stuff not going to the
Could
county?
say, I agree.
It's no different, in my opinion. They could save a whole lot of money if they just pool everything together.
Who do they have?
The schools include the whole corporation. There's no reason why they're not included.
So there are other services in the county where, for example, like the county has this umbrella service contractor, and then like the jail pays their portion, the health department pays their portion. But IT isn't yet one of those. Right now, the jail uses a different contractor, the courthouse uses a different contractor, we use a different contractor here. But they are looking at bundling it and putting it all together with the new contract.
Right. What I heard, basically what I gathered was they're probably looking at going with the jail person because they're happy with the people doing the jail.
And they already do the health department too, and all that network is still tied into the courthouse. Now, that doesn't really help us out here because we're not tied in with them. But there's no reason why we can't be lumped into that same agreement. And then the board here will probably still have to pay a portion, but it'll be way less than what you're paying now because you're gonna benefit from the county contract. But I know Atlanta has a lot of, there's particulars with AME that you need, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, this is gonna be a transitional challenge if that happens.
Yeah, because A&E does do more than just IT.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting ready to have a meeting with them right now just for our PCI credit card compliance. And that's not something IT is gonna do.
Right.
And they do, anytime we have an issue, they do handle it. And they also know Campground Master, and they have learned how to help us with it.
So it sounds like you guys want to stick with what we have.
Well, they get somebody out here. There's a guy that works for them that's only about half a mile from us. So he comes right over.
Well, maybe he should go present a pitch to the county and try to get their business as well, possibly, then maybe, I don't know, but it would be nice to get everything grouped under one umbrella.
They do more than just the IT. I mean, it's not just like if our computers are acting up, they do. Like I said, it's not their job description to do this, credit card compliance and our security and all that stuff. But I'm at a loss with it, so I don't know. I'm just like,
If they would want to pursue that, you might have a conversation with them and they could use you guys as a reference to, let the county know that you guys are happy with their service. It's expensive as hell, but you're happy with it. So
yeah.
The county right now is not getting anything out of the money.
I think
And this expires in December too.
December? Okay. I didn't look at it, I just brought it up here to you.
I wasn't sure if we were our second year or third year, so it will expire this year. Okay, so back to this, I will contact her. You guys are requesting in-office time for newsletter training and things like that. What else do you need to make sure she is understanding your concerns?
I just,
And
Everything she did in the beginning.
in requesting an amended contract, obviously. And I will still work.
but we don't want to pay $8,000 and take the last 2 or 3 months out. I just see the writing on the wall.
I do too.
we went from telling her that we wanted a $5,000 or $6,000 contract and then we make $1,000 contract, so.
Well, my concern is too, obviously, primaries are in May. So,
Right.
are we still gonna be
Yeah.
paying $5,000 until,
But they won't have time to do anything
No.
for 2 months.
That's right.
Right, so.
correct, that's why, yes, I'm not throwing stones on that, it's just the reality, like you said. You know, when she was in here, she told us, which I know she got sick again, but we still didn't get it till last night. So,
We didn't have much time to discuss it.
and like I said, I'll still work on brainstorming and putting together more exactly what we're needing from somebody. Cause I don't wanna lose what we have, like I said, that's the thing.
Oh, me too.
I don't wanna go backwards. We've made big strides and I think it's been very noticeable this last year. I think we've had tons of comments on our social media and how well,
Mhm.
um,
And she's had some really cute stuff on it.
I know, it was
she was,
nice.
I'm not,
A
yes,
lot of
very
it was
much.
Very nice.
I don't wanna lose any of that.
I was super happy the first couple of months. I mean,
Yeah.
couldn't ask for any more.
I will make a comment to you on, I know interns have been suggested, and I'm not against that. However, for an internship program, you have to have somebody heading that up. Like, an intern has to report to somebody and receive whatever they're supposed to be working on. Like, we don't have a person, an intern can report to and learn from. Does that make sense? Like, they have to say, here's your assignment for this week or this day. Like, they have to have stronger guidance. And we don't have a person who would do that. Now, if we say we hired Melissa and we got an intern, she could give the intern, obviously, the duties and the tasks, earn credits or things like that. We don't have somebody working in marketing to head the marketing intern.
Well, I don't know if the
So I
days,
think the intern avenue is probably not a great fit for us. We just aren't set up for that. Like Mark said, there's maybe tons of people with this type of experience.
All right. Is you ready to wrap it up?
no, I have a card to read, it was in my stuff. This is from Shelley Enstrom, Sullivan County Park and Lake Board. As some of you may have already heard, I put in my 3-week notice, and this week will be my last. I've enjoyed my time out here and I truly loved it. I'm glad I was given the opportunity. I wanted to thank the board for all that you do and have done. It doesn't go unnoticed. I will miss all of you as well as my work family. I hope you have a successful season and I wish you all the best. And Dewey, you never know who's gonna be calling when you're answering the phone. It's from Shelley. So do you have somebody in mind to fill that position?
No, we are going to just kind of leave that position open for now. I'll take over going out and getting the supplies from Walmart, that type of stuff. Lana is going to kind of fill in with part of it. We're just going to try to handle it for the best we can right now. Hopefully she'll change her mind and come back.
Two teams of 3 that's what we need to start out with, as long as nobody quits. I mean, that should be sufficient.
2 teams of 3 to clean and,
Yeah, that's what we're normally run.
so with her pay, where is that going?
It'll just,
Be
It's going
divided?
to lay there for a
it'll
while.
just be there, untouched.
You know,
Just in case we have to hire somebody in the building. Right.
Okay,
her duties are getting spread amongst Lana and Nick,
Okay.
it sounds like.
So we can hire a new part-time marketing social media person.
There you go. We can use that money to take care of that contract.
Do we, are the cleaning ladies lined up for this year?
Yeah, Shelley did interviews and got us some people hired back in and got her, some of the guys from last year back in.
We have some returning.
well, I will say, she did an excellent job.
She did.
At everything she
You better
did.
run around and blame them.
You'll have a hard time finding somebody that will do the things things that she
Her
did.
painting, her, everything that in here, everything, yeah, Shelley's she's a
What
baby.
can we do to convince her to stay?
There's nothing we can do to convince her to stay. I played the guilt trip, I don't know how many times. I'm trying.
Well, should be best to say that.
Yeah, we're gonna-
Okay, Lynn, you got anything else? Bruce, you got anything? Got your name right that time? Damon? Damon?
Oh, well, one more, this
Or just got
tourism,
emailed saying.
It was emailed, we didn't know if that's something you'd like to participate in or not.
Brandy Wolf had brought this to the meeting Lynn and I were at. It's an outdoor show at the Vigo County Fairgrounds, and she highly suggested we set up a booth there. But you have to apply by March 1st if we want to do that.
There is a 10 by 10 booth provided to us at
To
no
us.
charge.
Correct. So really, I kind of feel like that's on, whether you guys can figure, I mean, on staff, right?
What would we fit in?
Well, I think it would be just kind of like the one in
It
Indianapolis.
would be.
Do we still have the Sullivan County parking like bags or cards or, remember the yellow bags that said Sullivan County parking like we gave those away? Do we have,
If
We
we
got the
do,
drawstring bags.
So see,
what?
We got the drawstring bags.
if we had those yellow ones or any of that stuff, Donna would have them.
So-
Donna Adams would have them.
And that's, I don't know if you could ask tourism if there's anything you can borrow to help set up the booth. But yeah, that would be, I mean, it's free for us and it's free, that's clearly free PR and advertising and all of that.
Well, I think we should do it. And I could volunteer my time. I don't want to do every day. but-
I can't, and that's, I know Tommy's out of town, so I'll have the kids with me all weekend.
It's only one day, isn't it?
It's two.
Tuesday. Is the tourism coming?
I don't know that I know she's not gonna be there, but I don't, is tourism gonna be there?
I believe tourism's gonna be there, so it's the city pool, they're gonna want to take it too.
Okay.
But if
So,
you just had, like, they're gonna provide the table, the booth space, if you just brought a tablecloth and just had some of the brochures and had a stack of, what you already have planned for this year, like a flyer, that's all you
A newsletter.
That's all you need, yeah.
We could take this tablecloth and put it on the table or,
I wonder if we could even print a sign that we are for fairly reasonable too.
I think we should do it.
I think we should do it. I probably could maybe do like maybe a Sunday afternoon shift. I definitely cannot Saturday. I don't have any availability Saturday.
I could probably do a Saturday.
But I do think a lot of that's gonna be on the staff too, so I don't know.
Hello?
I don't know what it is.
I'll have to check on Stephanie's schedules
What are the dates?
for kids.
18th and 19th of April.
Is there times, hours?
There are,
Came Friends of the Lake.
that would be, oh, that's a great
Hey,
idea.
Ryan, Hunt lives up
I don't
there.
know.
Yeah, ask Friends of the Lake. Brandy gave us a time, and I don't know.
I think it was noon to, it wasn't early.
See that QR code if you scanned it.
Okay.
Highlight on there.
Yeah, I don't have the time in my,
It's on this flyer, there's no time. Midday.
Saturday, April 18th and 19th. So on Saturday, it's from 10 to 8, and on Sunday, 10 to 5. So
I know I can't do anything on Sunday.
Sunday, I could maybe do like 1 to 4 or something. But that's a great idea to ask Friends of the Park and Lake too.
Like on Saturday, I could do 10 to 4.
Just do a couple hours and just split it, yeah.
And then somebody else could.
I will send this in our group text, just so you guys can look at it.
You said 10 to 4 then? I might be able to do the 4 to 8, I don't know. let's revisit this, but I might.
Well, so go ahead and sign up, and worst comes to worst, we
And
can
do
do it,
you
but
want them to sign up?
please.
Could you do that? And anything you can gather, like those little, cookies, how much are they?
That's me, sorry, that's me sending this.
I'm not sure we can use it.
I'll have to look, I just.
I don't think they're very minimal.
I don't think
Could I
very
take
much.
those, can we,
Yeah.
not I, could we
Yeah.
take those and give them
We
away?
have those, we have the koozies, and I think we still have some of those, a few of the little knives, and
So go ahead and get us signed up, and we have till mid-April, and I definitely think utilizing friends of the parking lot.
And if you know where we got those,
yeah, we don't have that pins.
replenish and take several if we have them.
We have several.
We're like, make some gift bags with the drawstring bags. There's
Yeah.
not much
Yes,
in them.
that's a
Put a
great idea.
koozie and the schedule events and just have
People
stuff
love
for you.
free stuff.
They love free stuff, you also could do a drawing for one of the bags, and then like, if they put their email down, you add them to the newsletter, so then they're automatic.
But they have to actually add it because then you have to verify it.
You mean?
I mean, it'll send an email to them, you just add them to the email list.
We could give away a free pass.
Yeah, that's a great idea,
I mean, we give them away a lot.
correct.
By the way, I have not gave those to the, county people yet either.
I give mine to the
We
city.
forgot, that's, I'm sure they'll be.
My next question was, I don't remember how many I got from you. Was I supposed to give them the redevelopment along with the commissioners and the council?
Commissioners
Commissioners
Council,
and council.
not redevelopment. Okay.
Well, let's read it all, it gives us some money.
So anything you can scrounge up would be great to give away. And even if we had to order more, that would be great too. Okay.
They didn't get anything bad?
Oh. We have a typically Eclipse t-shirts.
Yeah, we have a bunch of those.
Did we get anything?
Those t-shirts.
People would take those, but you want to sell them, right?
Hurry, got anything?
No,
There ain't gonna be no buy.
I thought about putting them out for $5 this year.
I thought about using them for rags in the shop.
Yeah, put them, I mean, we could put them out on the table.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, why
A
not?
lot of kids love those kind of things,
I'd be
so
excited
just
for a
anything you
t-shirt.
can gather up would be great.
That's a good idea.
All right,
Chris,
I make
got any corrections?
You
You guys got anything?
Oh, yeah, it's true.
I make a motion.
Motion
Second,
Okay.
all in favor? Thank you, everybody. Apologize again for being late this morning.
No problem.
Well, it took me so long to comb on my hair.